Welcome, goddesses. Today I have a really special interview with Tricia Campbell. She's going to talk with us about some tips for positive mindset for plus size women. So I just thought this would be perfect for my audience. So Tricia is a plus size supermodel and a life coach. She has a 90-day program called Confidence Queens, and I love that name. And Confidence Queens is to help women unleash their unshakable confidence and inner beauty. So welcome, Tricia.
Hello. Thanks for having me on your beautiful platform.
You have a lot of experience in this area, so maybe tell us how did you get into what you do? How did you get into your work?
So, I am originally from the beautiful island of Jamaica,
Okay.
and my grandma brought us all here, my whole family, after high school. I thought I was going to go to college in Jamaica, but I had to come like the next week when I was supposed to go to college. So, I came to New York, and if you know West Indian parents, you're like, acting, modeling, none of the arts is never good for them. They want you to be educated and lawyer, doctor,
True.
that's all they know. Or maybe I wanted to be a designer, which I am also. So I went to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan, and I have my design degree. When I started working as a designer, people would always ask me, like the salespeople at my job, or even the owners, the CEOs of the companies would come by my desk and like, oh, we don't have a model. Can you throw something on? And I was like, oh yeah, I'll model. Because in Jamaica, I did enter Miss Jamaica, and when I was 13 years old, but that's a whole other story. I was too young, and I made it to the finals, and they were like, girl, you're too young. And plus I got fat shamed. That's a whole other level, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever got fat shamed. Didn't even know that what that was. I was 13 years old. They told me, oh, you're beautiful, your face is gorgeous, but your hips are too big, you have a little belly. So as a 13-year-old, I actually went on a crash diet, eating only fruits. I fainted one time,
Mm.
almost killed myself, literally. So that was back then. And I always struggled with, are you enough issues and all of that. So that was during my high school years and all of that. So I come to New York now, and I'm like modeling for free. And I finally met some plus size models, and I was like, oh my goodness, they're so confident. They're making so much money. I mean, they are on top of their game. I didn't even know this existed. So I asked one of the models, how I could get into this, because I'm doing this for free, like at work. So she said, go to an agency and see, you're young, you're beautiful, you know your stuff. Go and see if you. And I got two agencies. I got a lot of no's though, a whole lot of no's. But then I ended up signing with two agencies, and the rest is history. But my first I do something called fit modeling too, where you're like a mannequin. You are the exact size, you're the sample size of that clothing company.
Right.
And I started booking those. I had to run out on my lunchtime, and I was still living at home with my parents when I was doing this. So, I had to tell my mom, I was like, look, I love modeling. It's paying. I'm getting a lot of clients. Can I? And she's like, no, you're not gonna be no model, you're a designer, so but I had to take a leap of faith, and I did, and I never looked back. I've worked with Essence magazine, O magazine. I Oprah Winfrey's stand-in model. I do like all her lighting preparations for her magazine, for the cover of her magazine. So that is like one of the biggest things that I do. And I've modeled in different campaigns for Glamour, CoverGirl, different campaigns for different things too. So it has been a great, great career, and I do it because I want to let plus size women and women of size know that you are worth it and you are enough, and it's time to level up.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I love background stories, and how the journey. So, yeah, share some tips with the women out there about how you got to this place where you are now in terms of your confidence.
Tip number one, in order for you to like really level up your confidence and to really tap into your inner beauty, you really have to get mentors or good mentors around you, and good coaches around you, because yeah, you could watch all these free podcasts, read all these books, and listen to other people and all this stuff. But you have to be are surrounded by like-minded people, people who are positive, people who are uplifting, and people who want to see you win, right? So that's definitely one of the tips that I could give. Just get a mentor, a life coach, or a wellness coach, because I always say beauty comes from within. I did not know this. Even when I became a model, I would never tell people, oh, I'm a plus size model, because I did not know I was beautiful. I thought I was beautiful here. I knew I was beautiful on the outside, but on the inside, I did not get my aha moment. And the aha moment that I had was when my mom was died from colon cancer. And it's like a trigger went off. I was like, all this stuff, nothing can solve anything but your inner wellness and your inner healing, because there's nothing no one can do when you are totally sick. You are, and there's nothing else going on. So you have to learn to tap into your inner beauty. And that's what having a great mentor, a great life coach, someone that could lead you faster in doing things that you want to accomplish in life. Because of course we procrastinate. Sometimes we don't think we're worth it. I'm too fat. Like, a lot of my clients come to me because they're having body issues. And when they're finished with confidence queens, they know their inner beauty. They know why, they're on earth. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just had a baby. I divorced, or I'm in my marriage and I don't love my body. I don't love my curves. Listen, I've been on a lot of sets, photo shoot sets with a lot of women, including Lady O. And we all know every one of us is human. We all have body image struggles. So this is what I help my clients to do, is I call it leveling up and really unleashing your unshakable confidence from within, where nobody can say, oh, she is this, she is that, and you take it so hard and you don't want to look in the mirror anymore. You don't want to put on some nice clothes. You don't even want to move your body. So that's one of the tips. Second tip is definitely get into your body. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not talking about from a vain part. I'm
Mhm.
talking about food, nutritional ways, and also working out. You have to, don't think you're taking too much time on yourself. Don't ever think that. I know life happens. Some of us are mothers, we're wives, we're sisters, we're daughters. You're pulled so many different ways. I call it the ultimate self-care. You have to, focus on what's going in your body and how you're moving your body. Even if you have 5 minutes, 15 minutes, find something that you love to do, whether it's yoga, whether it's dancing, whether it's, just maybe taking a rope and just jumping, or kickboxing, something. I am a lover of dance. In another world, I thought I was a dancer. So I do praise dancing. Is so awesome to, like, contemporary, helps you to stretch and move, and you feel amazing. Then your skin starts to radiate, your heart feels better. I mean, your waistline starts to come in. So even though you're plus size, yes, you still have to be fit. You still have to be feel amazing. And now with what's going on, hello, you have to make sure that you can fight off all these different sicknesses. So that is definitely tip number 2, is definitely watch what you're putting in your body. Great nutrition. I cannot emphasize this enough. More and more water, even if you don't feel like it. Keep drinking a lot of water. Some people are into juicing. I'm more into water, but just water, 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 water all the way. Yes.
You know what's so funny about that? This isn't tea I'm drinking. It's actually water because I recently had a health issue that surprised me because I'm very healthy overall, but it literally had to do with not drinking enough water. That was the underlying. It could have literally prevented the health issue. So I literally started filling up a bottle, and I'm sure, like that's the easiest way. Rather than counting individual, because then I lose track, I just have a bottle that I know has like 4 cups of water, and I have to drink that twice, through the day. So yeah, it seems so basic, but water is really, really important. So thank you for sharing that, as well as for the woman to feel embodied, right? To really be in her body rather than trying to kind of escape it because of sort of outside,
Right.
talk about judgments.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that I teach in my program in the beginning is definitely a lot of us, we're scared to feel certain feelings. And I go through that with my clients in some of the first modules in the program, that if you feel like cry, cry. If you feel like screaming, screaming. If you feel like running fast, run fast. So I just tap into that feeling and then go to the next feeling. But you have to address it. Do not stuff it down.
Hmm. That is really profound. Yeah, we could just go have a whole discussion on that, on feelings and the body. That's like a, wonderful discussion. And what would be your final tip for
So
mindset, self-love, self-esteem?
my final tip is one of the hardest things, that is boundaries. It is one of the hardest things because if you are a people person and you love people and you're a socialite, or even if you're not, even if you're an introvert and you just love having people around and doing things for people and all of this, and as a plus size woman, sometimes society tends to think that, oh, we're always smiling, we're always bubbly, we always want to help out. We always want to cook a good meal and all this stuff.
Like
We
nurturing, the nurturing.
nurturing side, right?
Yeah.
And then we feel guilty when we have to say, no, I you don't have to explain. Just know the power of saying no. It's very important because you spread yourself so thin, and getting those two other tips that I was just mentioning done, it won't get done because what? You're spread way too thin. You don't have any boundaries. And boundaries is not pissing off people. It's just being nice. You can say, oh, well, it would feel great to meet up with you, or to have dinner with you. However, next time let's reschedule. Just learn to start to do that, and you will see your life definitely change.
I love how you kept it vague, Trisha. Like that was beautiful. I might ask you to repeat that. Like you didn't, what I would do is, well, yes, I'd love to have dinner, but, and then I go and explain what I'm doing.
Yeah,
And then I don't like that. That doesn't feel right to me because they may still think, well, that's not important. So you know what I mean? So can
yeah,
you say how you said it one more time? Because I really thought you did that really well. What would you
sure.
say in saying no? But you said it so nicely.
Right. So say, you have a good girlfriend and you haven't met up in a long time and you guys want to meet up for dinner or something, but you're pressed on something else that you need, or it just does not fit into your daily habits or your daily routines.
At
Because
that
that's
moment,
a
right.
bonus tip also. You have to have daily routines and daily habits, right? So it doesn't fit into it and you're like, okay, it's not bad you don't want to hang out. You say, oh, it will feel great to hang out. I can't wait to catch up with you.
Mhm.
However, let me check my calendar, or let's just another time would be great. Let's work
Uh,
on that for another day. Okay, and that's it. No explaining, because as women, I think we tend to want to explain and
yes,
why,
yes.
and that alone, it just breaks your whole boundaries too. And it takes time. Time is money.
Yes.
So
Why do you think it does? You kind of said something like it undoes the boundary thing when you start to explain. Can you dive a little deeper in that? Like why do you think that that's so? Because I agree with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had to learn this too because I have trained with some good coaches and mentors along the way. Because I didn't wake up like this, Miss Tricia Campbell, confidence queen, life coach. I had to learn a lot of techniques that I'm telling you, a lot of them were very, very painful. But I do think we do that coming from the nurturing side again, and coming from the person is gonna hate me, they're gonna judge me, they're going to be questioning what is she doing? Who the hell she? This is a thing too. It's like gremlins. It's like you start to think, okay, oh, they're gonna hate me by saying, oh, who the hell she thinks she is? She can't meet up with me. Like, like I'm here for her. She's never, so we go into like all these different feelings, as I said before, getting drop down into that feeling, acknowledge it, and just move on.
So don't let our feelings of like guilt might be one because like you said, this is a good friend. And I would say we probably are there for them, enough. If we feel like we don't want to do it, it's probably because know internally it's more than we can do at that time. It's just
Yeah,
so,
definitely. It's
but
really a time thing.
yeah.
Really, it's really knowing your I'm gonna give one more tip and we keep going further. But I, daily
Bonus
planners
tip. Bonus tip.
bonus tip.
Yes.
Daily planners are not set in stone, right?
Hmm.
But if your success is definitely how you show up and your what you plan to do each day. Of course, I'm a wild card. I love to be spontaneous. But
Hmm.
again, going back to the boundaries, which is so important, you have to pencil stuff in. And if it does not work, do not feel guilty, for saying that no in a nice way. And
Yeah.
I go even in relationships, don't even get me started on that. Because for when it comes on to men, it's like, whew, especially if you really like the guy, you're like putting him on a pedestal. You're like, oh yes, I'll be there. I'll push everything away. Check your schedule. Oh, same thing. Oh my God, it would feel really lovely to, connect with you, go on a date or have fun together. But however, this is when I'm available. Let me know what you think.
Hmm. I love it. I love the clarity of that. That was all super, super helpful. Trisha, thank you so, so much. Is there anything that we left out that you want to share with the audience before we close?
Yes, I just want women of size all over the world, in case, whenever you're watching this or wherever you're watching this, stop trying to live up to society's unrealistic standard of beauty. You are gonna keep hitting your head against the wall. Your life is gonna keep going around in circles.
Mhm.
Just try to add these three little tips. And also, when you are ready to definitely dig deeper and bring out your inner beauty and your confidence, I am your girl. Hit me up, Confidence Queens. You could go to my
Yeah.
Facebook or my Instagram,
Right.
and I you
Are you confidence queen everywhere? Like on
yeah.
Instagram?
On Facebook, I am Confidence Queens.
Okay.
And on Instagram, I am Tricia Campbell. There is a link where they could book a free breakthrough call, confidence breakthrough call, and we could talk.
So, guys, that'll be below the video. So, the
Mhm.
direct links to find Trisha. Thank you so, so much for being here. I'm so glad we got this interview, wrapped up and that I'll be able to share this with the community. So, Trisha, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for all that you do to Vivian.